How do I volunteer to run for office and who does what job? The next step is to decide which job seems most interesting and suitable to you. Office holding occurs on both a local or provincial level and a kingdom or regional level. Most of the positions are actually elected, and there are certain requirements in addition to being elected that should be met. The best way to know what is true for your group and what exact requirements are needed is to direct yourself to our governing document, which is the Desert Winds Corpora. While I intend to give you a brief overview of each position, it is important to join the Desert Winds Yahoo group, look in the file section, and read the latest Corpora document. If you have trouble finding it, please let somebody know and we'll help direct you to it. I believe that I have held every office that there is to be held in the Desert Winds, and I can say without a doubt that each has had its benefits as well as its downsides. When we talk about the first position is monarch, head cheese, head honcho, and also the person where the buck stops here. You're responsible for the group and responsible for making sure that others have an opportunity and a duty to do their part in making your province or kingdom run. A provincial monarch's duties will be very similar across the board, and on a kingdom level, the monarch's duties will be similar as well. The kingdom monarch will also interface on a national level, both during the Inter-Kingdom Circle of Monarchs meeting held at Clan every year, as well as to advocate on behalf of Desert Winds if there are certain items that come up that affect them on a national level. The monarch is responsible for many things. Chief among them are recruitment and retention. Recruitment meaning going and getting people to play at your park. Retention meaning keeping those folks that you already have. And it's listed in the Corpora certain events that must occur during your reign. And so your first job is to set those and try to get an idea of what would be the best recruiting and retention methods. The recruiting and retention methods that we use in Salt Lake may not be the same as the recruiting and retention methods used in Billings, Montana. We all have variances locally, and only you will know what those are. Besides recruiting and retention, a big part of what a monarch does is to set the tone and direction. Will you have a themed reign? Will you be working on specific items that you think your park needs strengthened or to shore up weaknesses? Do you want to have everybody come to a big kingdom level event and see how other people do it and to meet new people? Brainstorm your ideas, your passions, what you want to do as monarch, and then distill the list down to those things that are very most important to you. Don't put a whole bunch on your plate. Pick 5 of your biggest goals that you wish to achieve, and then make sure that you achieve them. You may achieve those goals in part by understanding your populace and soliciting their help when you know what their strengths are, what they're good at, and then going forward with that information in combining a cohesive direction. If you're at a smaller park, it may be that as monarch, you're doubling multiple roles as both champion and as regent. If that's the case, make sure that you touch upon all of the areas when you're setting your goals. The next officer is second in command and is regent. The regent is responsible for running the kingdom or the local park when the monarch isn't present. They are also charged with fostering the arts and sciences. That means holding craft nights or simply trying to help people get shield covers and weapon covers. That can be a big deal, as much of what attracts some people into this game is the ability to create and craft. By showing an interest and fostering their creativity, you are doing your job in helping to promote recruitment and retention of that player. The next position I wish to discuss is the office of Prime Minister. On a local level, the Prime Minister is the one that puts the sign-in sheet out weekly for members to sign in and inputs that information into the online record keeper or ORC. They also collect dues payments and other financial information and reports back the status of the park and the status of the financials of the park to both park members and the board of directors for the kingdom. In addition to that, they are responsible for collecting submissions for all thing items and elections, as well as to ensure that contributing members are able to vote in those elections in the timeframes that are listed within the corpora. The next position is the office of champion. The champion is responsible for weapon safety on the field, and they may inspect your weapon or any weapon at any time for safety to ensure no marks or bruises, as well as during large battle games or tournaments. The fun thing about champion as well is that they get to be the ones to come up with cool battle games. There's a whole host of different variants on battle games that can make it fun, interesting, and engaging for other members. That as a champion, it's important to ensure that you plan in advance what types of things would be most fun for your particular province. I literally just now went to google.com and put Amtgard battle games in the search line and pressed send. I got hundreds of hits with lots of different ideas on different types of battle games. There will be one that works well in your kingdom or for your monarch's theme. Have fun with it. Enjoy it. The next position that you may wish to consider is the position for Guild Master of Reeves, or GMR. The GMR is the one that administers tests to check for knowledge on Amtgard rules of play, as well as the corpora. They're the ones that check and help the champion with weapon safety on the field and to remove unsafe players from play for the day if necessary. They also help coordinate the other Reeves to ensure that fair play is the name of the game. The last position that I want to talk about is the position of heir apparent. It was originally meant for those folks under the age of 18 who had interest in running for office to get a sense of what types of jobs that they would be doing while in office. It was a mentorship role. I don't believe it necessarily needs to be constrained by anyone under the age of 18, and that anyone who has an interest in office but isn't quite yet ready to take the plunge can go up to the monarch, the regent, the PM, the champion, or the GMR and ask them to take them under the wing and teach them and mentor them so that when you are ready, you'll be more prepared and more capable to take on that role. I appreciate your time in watching this video. I hope it's been helpful. At the end of this video will be a small section on how to access the information.